Welcome, gamers, to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming. We're on episode 229. Today is, what are we on? April 17th. Yeah, my notes had it all scratched out. 2026. My name is Craig Prowse, and joining me is Mandrew Montemayor. How are you, sir?
Hey, from the digital verse, we're out here.
Yeah, so if you guys are watching this on YouTube, I don't know how it's going to come out even with Spotify or anything like that, but we are trying Zoom. Hopefully we can get it nice and smooth out. But being our first go at it, anything could happen. There might be camera problems, there might be audio problems. So apologies if there is, but this is something we're going to try doing a little more moving forward. So testing it out so that Andrew and I can both do it comfortably from home and yeah, hopefully there's no big issues, but this is the test, the trial run. So we'll see how that goes. I gotta say, you see your room's looking clean. I see you turned on another. Did you turn on another light since I since I wasn't looking because it was darker earlier?
I'll say just the one. And then, oh yeah, because I have a chainsaw lamp in here, so I use that sometimes when I record. Because I have this overhead lamp that just doesn't get very bright.
Nice. Oh, and
But
I
for
did
any
want
of
to
you
give a
watching,
what's
if
that?
you see me keep looking, I was saying, for any of you watching, if you see me keep looking to the left, it's because I have a baby monitor right here to watch my boy because he's taking
Yeah,
a nap. So
which is another reason why we're trying to do more remote stuff so that you can keep watching Mateo, and you don't have to make that drive as often as much. Because on Friday you live how far away you live to get here? 20 minutes you think to get here?
on a good day,
On a good day. And I did want to give Andrew a shout out. I have the other Last Call logo that we made, but Andrew designed this shirt, which is the Final Fantasy VII Last Call Saki Japanese themed shirt. So hopefully we can get. I got that made from Greg from Game Over Games. So hopefully if we can get merch rolling again, we can use that design, put it on a shirt, stickers, and we can get that going as well. Because I love it, dude. It looks. I think it
I was
looks
like,
sick.
that one actually came out really good.
Yeah. So text me your sizes and stuff that you need, and I'll see if I can get you one made as well. So.
For sure. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir. So, guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. If you guys are interested in following us on any of our social media, our Linktree link will be in the description. You can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. And if you guys are listening to the podcast only version of this show, you can find us on your podcast platform of choice. So, with that down out of the way, guys, Andrew and I like to do off the top, where we take a second and talk about some smaller news before we get into our main story. And the first one we want to get into is that there was a new Street Fighter trailer that dropped. Now, the movie is designed to come out in October 16th. It's been pushed back, but I gotta say it was a much better trailer than the original one that came out. Even though I
For
liked the
sure.
original one, a lot of people thought it looked kind of I don't know, the aesthetic was a little off. But this one is it showcases, I'll read this real quick on Google. It says it showcases a campy, action-packed, live-action adaptation featuring star-studded cast including Noah Centineo as Ken, Andrew Koji as Ryu, and Jason Momoa as Blanca. It highlights a tournament set up by the Shadaloo featuring iconic moves, characters like Guile and Cammy, and a soundtrack featuring What's Up by Four Non-Blondes. The trailer I thought was actually pretty long too. I think it was like over 2 minutes, and you got a good look at what these movies actually going to be about. You get to see that Ryu and Ken have kind of parted ways at some point, and that Ken's looking at maybe getting back into the tournament world after kind of becoming a pseudo celebrity that's kind of waning, almost like a Johnny Cage kind of it looks like. But you get
Yeah.
a good look at 50 Cent. You get a good look at Jason Momoa as Blanca. You get a good look at Cody Rhodes as Guile. Chun Li seems to be a really big part of it. What I didn't care for is you didn't really get to hear. I always forget the guy's name playing Bison, but you didn't really get to see Bison much or hear him talk. But it really showed that this is going to be a lot of fighting. And I think this, if you had negative thoughts on it because of the previous trailer, I mean, it's going to be cheese and campy, but it's going to be good cheese and campy. I think moving forward, this trailer did a lot to kind of set the tone in a positive direction.
I really liked it a lot. I think too, it leans into that video game camp, like what you're saying, and that's what makes it so good. And not just like aesthetically, especially with like how ridiculous Skyle's hair looks. So I'm like, okay, it just goes with everything else. I'll let it go. But like, what really sold it for me too is when Zangief is fighting uh Ken.
Oh,
There's just like a little bit, but he's doing the suplex, the like three suplex that he does, where he does like one, two, and then he jumps in the air and spirals you down.
yeah, and his face is all
Okay, that
like,
looks so cool though. Versus like
yeah.
obviously it's not practical or real, but I don't need that. Like that's they nail it. But I'm glad you brought up that Four Non Blonde song in here because I haven't seen anyone else say this, and I don't know how a lot of this stuff works. But I'll be the first to call Capcom cheapskates just because that I don't know if they had already paid for the license or if that's how that works, or maybe there's like I don't know how licensing music works like that, but that's the same song that they use for Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City when they had the trailer come out as well too. So I'm officially saying they got it for a bargain.
They're just recycling and reusing it. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It's coming out soon. This was just kind of to put it back on people's radar in case you haven't seen it. Anything else on the trailer? I mean, I'm all signed. Sign me up for it.
No, it looks really good. I actually didn't think this was going to come out till like next year. So seeing that October is like pretty close.
Yeah, so that's our first off the top. The next one kind of follows suit is that there was also a new Mortal Kombat trailer that just dropped, and that is actually coming out in a couple of weeks. That drops on May 8th. And again, I don't this one did a really job in showing off more of Johnny Cage, and we get a chance at looking at the rebirth of Sub-Zero. There was a bunch of kind of fatalities that they were showing. And then I think what got a lot of people hyped up is that you got to see Ed Boon kind of make a cameo and all that.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I needed to see another trailer. I'm all geared up for it. But I thought this will probably be the last trailer. Obviously, it has to be the last trailer before the movie comes out in 2 weeks. But what did you think of it? What were the highlights for you?
I thought it looked really good too. I love seeing Ed Boon behind the bar like that. That's really cool. It just seems like there's so much going on though, and I'm like, man, I hope that they maybe learned from the first one, but I guess maybe it could pan out kind of like how Mortal Kombat 1 did, because I guess spoilers if you're not watching trailers or not, but like you see like Quan Chi in here, who generally didn't come in until like later third or like fourth game, depending on like where you're looking at. So I hope they're not trying to cram too much into like one thing. But again, I'm hyped for it. Like it's kind of crazy that we're getting so many like video game movies like in one year.
Yeah, well, it's also interesting too, is because like you said, the first one was kind of missed the mark for a lot of people. But I noticed I don't was Cole. Cole wasn't even in this trailer, was he?
He's in it for like a little bit, and I think the big speculation is that they're gonna do just like Johnny Cage him from
Yeah,
like the
that's what they should have done in the first place. It was
second.
like, well, you don't have to make up a character when you got a roster of 30 people you can pick from. Especially
Yeah,
when the first trailer kind of made it seem like it was going to be more about Sub-Zero and Scorpion, which they kind of pivoted away. It's like they and did the Cold War. This one seems like they're going back into the Scorpion Sub-Zero battle, and then now we're going to see Johnny Cage kind of be the main protagonist.
yeah. I think just get rid of Cole altogether, kill him off in like the first 5 minutes, and the
Like
rest.
they did Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah, and the rest should be good. Like he is the worst character. His power's lame. Like that whole thing's just. The worst part of that movie is any
Okay.
scene usually with him in it.
Yeah. So I did want to point out they are doing some highlights for it. If you are doing Mortal Kombat 2, if at the Regal at least, they're doing Mortal Kombat 2 cocktails if you're gonna go see it in theater, which is you can power up with Ice Blast, Lightning Bolt, or Get Over Here, which are gonna be available for a limited time. So if you're in a Regal theater, you can at least get a drink that's inspired by it. They got a Mortal Kombat cup, which is the Dragon Light Up cup, which looks kind of cool. It's a
Those look
green
pretty
cup.
cool.
Yeah, I don't mind having that.
I think
And
at the
then,
bottom of the cup it says like flawless victory, like on the inside of it too. Or
oh,
maybe that's
see.
the popcorn bucket. One of the two has it on the inside.
So let me see. Yeah, so the popcorn bucket. So there's a dual combo with two other cups that have Johnny Cage and it looks like Katana on it, and then the green squared bucket, featuring a popcorn bucket and two drink cups plus toppers. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that has the what'd you say it said on the bottom?
Flawless victory.
Flawless victory. There you go. But what caught my eye the most is because I don't go out of my way to collect popcorn buckets, but Sam and I have been trying to do movie nights where we watch like retro 80 movies, 70s movies. And so I've been slowly kind of getting some popcorn buckets. Andrew actually gave me one, which was it was Saw, right?
So
Yeah, which was a light up one. So I just wanted to point out that there's a badass looking Mortal Kombat 2 popcorn bucket that is Shao Kahn, and it looks sick, man. I thought it looked really
that
cool.
helmet's so sick.
Yeah, because Andrew sent me I think it was an Instagram, a video of the guy putting it together, right?
Yeah, and it's pretty big. It almost seems like you probably wear it.
Yeah, yeah, keep the mask and keep the helmet.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I just wanted to kind of point that out for off the tops that we got two new trailers for Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. And like Andrew said, it's a good year because we're getting a lot of video game movies. Was there anything else on those two that you wanted to talk about?
And I was just gonna say we had those two, Mario, and then I think the rumored Resident Evil is supposed to drop this year too. The Resident Evil movie by Zach Kreger. So that would be like four huge video game movies in one year, which would be way sick.
Yeah, nice. And that's yeah. So talking about movies, we'll leave down your thoughts below, guys, what you thought about the trailers, and if you plan on going to get any of the popcorn buckets or drinks. But that moves us into our main story, which is another video game movie, which is a Super Mario Galaxy movie, which is a 2026 animated adventure comedy film based on Nintendo's Mario video game franchise, directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelinek, and written by Matthew Fogel, which is a sequel to Super Mario Brothers the movie. It came out on April 1st, 2026. Andrew and I kind of talked about it on what our thoughts and stuff were, and some early critic reviews the last show we did, but we didn't get a chance to see it. This time, Andrew and I have both seen it, and we're going to do a review on it, somewhat light, somewhat spoiler. So if we get to the spoiler aspect and you haven't seen it yet, feel free to jump ahead. But before we get into kind of how it's doing, it's I had fun. I took my nephew Grayson to it. We went and got two of the cups. We saw it at Riverside. We saw the first screening. It wasn't a packed theater, but it was enough in there of enough kids laughing at the movie. So from my experience, it seemed like everybody had fun in the movie, even though so far it's not doing so far great reviews for the critics. It's like at 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience is liking it, which I think last time you showed it to me, Andrew, was at 80 or 90%.
It was at like 90%.
90%, yeah. So when you went, and we'll dive into the numbers in a second, how was your theater? And I came home with two cups. Did you come home with any Mario merch?
I'd say mine is like pretty similar. Like the theater wasn't like, I guess it could have been packed, but I noticed like some people are leaving, maybe just because they had their kids or something. Obviously, I didn't take my baby because I respect other people in the theater. But me and my wife went. I got a perfectly good seat. She actually came back because I didn't know they had stuff out there because I'd seen a lot of people with Mario shirts. I'm like, where are these guys getting their shirts? They have to be up there or something like that. She came back with like two pins. I should have brought one over here. I'm not sure where she put them now, but of the little Lumos star guys,
Oh, cool,
and
cool.
then a big blanket that was actually really really cool. It's super soft and it's like the perfect like summer maybe kind of winterish like blanket. It's not too heavy, but it's not too light. On one side, it's got like the
It's
movie cover,
just right.
and then on the other side, it just has like a bunch of little items and stuff like that from the movie. And it's actually really really cool. I really like that blanket a lot.
Awesome. So, let me kind of dive into how the movie's doing. Because, like I said, critics are kind of giving it a bad rap, and Andrew and I kind of addressed that on the last one. But so far, it is doing pretty good. But it's got big shoes to fill because the Super Mario Brothers movie did exceptionally well. It hit over a billion. It was 1.3 billion at the theaters. Domestically, it made 574 million. Internationally, 785 on $100 million budget, which means it made its money back in spades. Now, the second movie so far is sitting total worldwide at 628 million. Domestically, it's at 307, and internationally, it's at 321. It's actually hit some decent records. It's been the biggest global opening of 2026. It's the biggest Wednesday in April, earning 34 million on its opening Wednesday, beating the 2023 Mario movie's 31 million. So it did actually surpass it there. It surpassed Project Hail Mary to take the top spot for the 2026 domestic debut. I don't think anybody was going to question that. Best Tuesday of 2026, earning 14.8 million on Tuesday, April 7th, breaking the previous 2026 record, and its international reach is we've already kind of discussed that. Its budget was 110 million, which was $10 million more than the first one, but as of right now, it's still making its money back. And while receiving mixed reviews from critics, yeah, it's earned its over 90% for the audience. So before we dive more into the movie, did you think it was going to do as well as it's doing? And do you think it has a chance to surpass number one's numbers? Or do you think it's probably going to come in at the number two spot because maybe some of the novelties kind of worn off? You don't have characters like Donkey Kong in it. Obviously, it's doing well. How well do you think it can do?
I think it'll do better than the first one. I think
You
it's
think it's going
got
to surpass it?
Yeah, I think it's got plenty of time. And if it didn't, I wouldn't say like that, oh, that's a bad thing, doom and gloom, that the second one flopped or whatever. Like the movie is gonna do well, like regardless. I don't think it had to have like Donkey Kong or anything like that in there. Like I think you can create a separate movie for that sort of stuff or something else. Like why would you just add even more into here when this movie already has so much else? Like looking back at it now, I think it would be a little ridiculous to have like Donkey Kong and the Kongs and a couple of the other things in here. Because I'm like that would just be even more of like cramming more and more into here.
Right on. So I don't think it's going to pass number one. I think it's probably going to come just under it at 600 million. I think it's probably going to get close to 800, 900. I wouldn't be surprised if it passes a billion, but I don't know if it's got the gas to do it. Not say, again, like you're saying, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think number one was what everybody has never seen before wanted to see it. And then I think number two, I think a little bit of the novelty's kind of worn off, but it's still doing great. There's nothing, I mean, there's no stopping them from doing a number three with the numbers that they're getting. So, with that being said,
I'm saying I will say I
yeah.
don't think it's if it doesn't pass it, I don't think critic scores had anything to do with it.
Oh, sure. No, yeah. And I think we can talk about it too. I think critics are completely wrong because we'll get into the light conversation part before we get into spoilers. And the biggest problem we keep seeing is that they're saying that there's no story, that that the movie's really about nothing. And I'd have to just rebuttal where it's like if you're basing this off the game's whole premise is save the princess, save the day, have an adventure. And if that's the
Right.
baseline of what you're looking at for a Mario movie, then that's exactly what this movie does. So
Yeah.
and I have to say, because I can see how maybe adults can look at that if you're looking for like a message, because this isn't a Pixar Frozen movie, right? With an underlying theme. This movie is made for kids. And when I walked out of there with Grayson, Grace, dude, was ecstatic. Every kid in my theater was absolutely loving it, and
Yeah.
Grayson was saying how it's one of the best movies he's seen. So, as a from a kid's perspective, this movie delivers for what kids want to see. As an adult, if you're looking for something with a message like how Toy Story does or Frozen does, I guess you could leave that out the door because that's not in this. But I didn't need that at all. I want to see a Nintendo movie with a bunch of Nintendo Easter eggs, and I got a Nintendo movie with a ton of Nintendo Easter eggs. So I don't know what anybody could be upset about if you're just looking at it for Nintendo fun.
I completely agree. I hate seeing people like in some of these reviews like, oh, with like modern Pixar movies and this and that can show that a movie can be this and that. I'm like, okay, it can be, but not everything has to be. Like, not everything has to have this message or this crazy story or this like I don't know, preteen girl who turns into a beaver and is saving the forest or whatever that Hopper movie is that looks
Yeah.
good, but I'm like, not everything needs to be like that. Like you can just shut your brain off and go into something and just have fun. Like that I think that's the simple bottom line of this movie is it's just fun. You're going to go in there and have fun, like no matter what. Like I didn't find myself at all at any point in that time being like, man, this kind of dragging on or like this is boring. I was always like looking for the next thing. Not to mention, like after I left the theater, when I was at home just scrolling on Instagram for people that post stuff like, oh, did you notice this and that and this and that in the background? I'm like, oh man, I didn't even see some of that stuff or recognize maybe that beat or this or that. That there's so many other things just because I was so invested in all this other stuff.
Right. And I think that's kind of the thing, like you're saying it. It's popcorn fun. It's just a good time. There's tons of laughs in there, tons of good Easter eggs. So before we get into the spoiler aspect, my overall thoughts are if you were hesitant on it, I guess if it's just you as an adult and you're looking for a more mature themed movie, I guess you could pass on it. But as far as having fun, loving Mario, if you have kids, I would 100% say go take them because I had a friend, my friend Jackie Shirley. She has two kids, and she was writing me on Facebook, and she's like, she was because I posted that we went to go see it. She's like, "Oh, you guys didn't do like what's your review on it?" And I said, "Okay, well, me and Mandrew are gonna do a review." So this is the light spoiler aspect. If you were trying to figure out the movie, I say 100% take your kids to it. It's a lot of fun. Andrew, do you think this is something most people can wait till it's on Paramount Plus or something, or do you think this is something you should catch in theaters while you can?
You can wait really if you wanted to, if you're that on the fence about it. But if you were just even considering going to go see it and you just want to have fun, go see it. Like it's fun. I can tell you right now, if you love the first one, if you enjoyed the first one, you're gonna love this one. Like
Yeah.
there's no way you could like the first one, hate the second. This is not one of those things like, oh, it's like no, more of the same, but kind of like just amped up to an extent.
Well, let me ask you this then. Do you like number two better than you like number one?
I think so because when I
I think
got
so
home,
too.
I went to go watch number one, and I there's certain things that I like. I think the only thing I like better about number one than number two is just that Mario Brothers theme where they make their cheap commercial, and it's like the only thing you're not
Yeah.
draining is my wallet, and I'm like that scene is the best scene, like hands down. But two, we'll get into like some, as everyone knows, there's like a Yoshi specific part in there
Right.
that almost like rivaled that, and I'm like, oh man, like this is so good.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, okay. So with that being said, guys, I think we'll leave the spoiler-free stuff at the door right here. If you haven't seen it yet and you don't want to hear anything that could potentially ruin it for you, skip ahead to what are you up to and take it from there. But now we'll get into kind of the spoiler part. And I didn't have this written down. Maybe I'll save it for. I guess it's not a spoiler. So I have it written down in a couple positives and then a couple negatives. I want to start with the positives, but I didn't have this written down, and you kind of said it. It does kind of leave out the family, right? Like besides Mario and Luigi
Yeah.
being together, they don't really touch going back to New York at all. And I don't know if maybe that's something. I didn't, not guys. I didn't really think about it until you just said it. I don't know if maybe that's missing something because the family really was welcoming to see. So did you miss them at all? Did you miss anything that wasn't in the real world per se?
No, I don't think so. I think if anything, kind of having a little bit of that, a little bit less of that real world worked as a benefit for me.
Excellent. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to get into my positives, and then Andrew, if there's anything else you want to add before we move into negatives that's positive, feel free. So my first positive that I'm writing down is I like that there was kind of two adjacent stories moving at the same time. One being Princess Peach, who is tasked with finding. Actually, let me start with this. So the opening of the movie is Princess Rosalina gets captured by Bowser Jr., who's planning to use her power to fuel the cosmic cannon and free the shrunk Bowser. So that's pretty much the premise of the movie. Is he's trying to use
Cool
her to
premise.
what?
Cool premise. Sounds like a Mario
Yes,
game
hey,
to
sounds like
me.
a game to me. And then so moving forward, as far as what the mission is that one of the Lumas brings a plea to help to the Mushroom Kingdom, prompting Princess Peach and Toad to venture into space to save her, and which is kind of why you get these two splitting paths. Because then the second part that happens when there's some conflict is Mario and Luigi and Yoshi defend the Mushroom Kingdom before joining the interstellar chase, traversing different planets. So I'll kind of pause it there for a second. I like the two different stories. I like the fact that Peach isn't a damsel in distress in this one. She's not the one that's
Yeah.
got. She's actually, one of the main protagonists going out on an adventure of her own with Toad to go free Rosalina. And there's parts in the movie where she kind of has flashbacks of what Rosalina might be to her, what she means. And then on the other hand, you have Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi, who Yoshi you meet in the very beginning of the movie. You kind of see a lot of that in the trailer. Parties up with them. And I thought one of the best parts was the montage of them protecting the Mushroom
Mushroom
Kingdom while
Kingdom?
Princess was away, and you kind of see a
Yes.
couple of different Mario worlds, and then
And it's
eventually now they go on their adventure to go try to help out Princess Peach. So for me, I thought so. People saying there's no storyline. I mean, there's literally two paths you can follow in this movie.
I like to when they're protecting the Mushroom Kingdom while she's gone, is that it's set up almost like how the video game is, where you go from like level to level and
Yes,
it's
yeah,
like
that
a
was
video game
perfect.
map. I'm like, dude, that's just so cool. Like it's so simple that it's just I don't know. Like it's just one of those things. Like it's such a simple idea that just does so much.
Yeah, yeah. I thought actually now that you said that, yeah, because it's like Super Mario World, right? That they're moving through different parts of the map.
Yeah, or even some of the modern like 3D like the
Yeah,
2D games,
yeah.
and there's even like
Um,
alternate directions and stuff. It was really cool.
The other highlight I had was I thought Wart and the casino was probably one of the best scenes
Way
in the
cool
movie,
part.
besides the ending. Because you love Luis Guzman as Wart. I didn't know he did his voice because I never looked up the cast for that. But the moment he started talking, I was like, "That's my boy," and uh, and so I liked that, and I love all the Easter eggs and stuff. That we had. Well, I'll save that for the next one, new characters. But because the casino has a really cool dynamic where there's flipping around of like angles because of the gravity and things like that.
That's really cool.
Princess Peach has probably one of the best fight scenes in there with Birdo. Um, I wish it was something maybe we didn't see in the trailer. That would have been a really cool surprise
Yeah,
because Wart is from Super Mario 2, right?
yeah,
And I thought, and the casino matches the theme of that kind of game. I love that Birdo's in it because Birdo, I think, is first introduced in Super Mario 2, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was one of the best scenes. How'd you like it?
I really love that part too. I love the idea that the casino too, like when you go in there, there's not like normal people in there. It's pretty much like all just like villainous types of looking or like seedy looking people. And I like the way that they get there too, because before that they go through like it's I forget what they call it, but it's almost like a big hub where you see all kinds of different people coming through. So you see like Piantas from like Super
Oh,
Mario
it's
RPG.
the Gateway Galaxy.
Yeah, Gateway Galaxy. So you
Yeah.
see all these different people from maybe like different areas of Mario and stuff, like a penguin, the Piantas, this and that. I like that they have like the monkey that is like the thief to get there, Yukiki or
Yeah.
whatever. So I was like, there's that whole setup leading into that was really cool. But I think that that was one of the best parts of the movie was the way that again, like you're saying, I like that it has like its own weird like gravity in the way that it works, and that was really cool.
Yeah, and before I move further, going back with the two storylines, I think a lot of people you could argue that the movie is half and half Mario Galaxy and Mario Odyssey, and I think when you look at it from Mario and Luigi's journey, they're kind of doing more Mario Odyssey, and then with Peach is kind of more the Mario Galaxy. But my third positive and or pro that I like is I you gotta like all the new characters. You got obviously you have Yoshi, and Yoshi's also kind of one of my negatives, but Yoshi's in it. You get to introduce Bowser Jr., who I thought was really cool, really fun.
I
I
love
liked
Bowser
his.
Jr.
He was cool that he was like better at being a bad guy than Bowser was because his
Yeah.
plans were actually working. Obviously, you're gonna see Rosalina, which is one of the main things from Mario Galaxy, and then of course you have uh, Star Fox, Fox McCloud in it, which was easily something that I wish they didn't spoil. But you knew that was going to be spoiled in the first 24 hours when people started talking about that movie. I think Glenn Close is the one who does, or Glenn Powell. I'm sorry, Glenn
Yeah.
Close. Glenn Powell does the voice. So I love all the new characters. You can talk about in any order you want. I thought Yoshi was cool. Bowser Jr. Was awesome. Rosalina. Some of my negatives. I'll dive in that when we get into the negatives. Was cool. Her opening fight scene when she fights the Bowser Jr.'s robot tank thing was awesome. But I think Star Fox was easily the kind of the one that stole the show for a lot of people. And the moment they said barrel roll, dude, everyone in my theater, at least the adults, were like, yeah. So I loved it. How'd you like it? How'd you like the new additions? Especially because we said how there wasn't Donkey Kong, and I think a lot of people gravitated towards that with the first one. Do you think the new cast kind of pulled their weight?
Yeah, because I think that's what works for it is now instead of trying to incorporate all these people that we already know, it's almost like a new Mario game. You kind of just leave some stuff behind and then just move forward, and then that's how you can introduce more stuff without like getting tied down or bogged down. And that's the beauty of it is they're out there. They can make an appearance at like any time, but they don't have to. Like Donkey Kong did not have to be here. I love Fox McCloud. He's absolutely hilarious. I love too where he's talking about like his ship and I forget what it is that happens when it's like shot out. He's like, well, that's what I get for leaving my maintenance to a frog or something like that. He's
Yeah,
talking about Slippy. So I really liked
Flippy
that.
Slappy Samsonite.
So I liked him a lot. Like I think he is one of the best additions too. But again, I don't need to see him like going forward unless we do like Smash or something like that. He could just be in this movie and be like one done. That would be really cool. I really thought that when we saw him and he was kind of doing whatever, I was expecting to see I guess take this well, we're doing spoilers anyway. I was expecting to see maybe Samus or something like that walking in the background, or
Yeah.
maybe her ship just taking off or something like that. 'Cause I think, okay, cool. Like now that I know he's here, that totally would have fit that theme. But
Yeah,
I did like Yoshi a lot. I thought Yoshi was absolutely great. Like especially to the way they introduce him the first time, where he's walking around like New York with that montage. One of the best scenes.
which they actually do throw a thing to because you do get to see Donkey Kong right in New Donk City. They kind of
Yeah.
show him on the building, so he does get a little cameo. And speaking of like seeing people, I thought Rob the Robot was a really good.
Oh, so
He was
cool.
like he was like the information person, and he has the click of going slow. So yeah, I think they did a lot of cool Nintendo love. Was there anybody else I'm missing that was a good
Mm,
cameo
not
or
that
a good character?
I think the best character you kind of like nailed them. I think the best for me though is like Bowser Jr. because you see like his and Bowser's dynamic with like the little nighttime story that he
That
has
was
and little
darling.
play or whatever. But I loved because I was a little bit not concerned, but I was a little bummed 'cause I love Super Mario Sunshine. I know that it's a little low on some people's totem pole, but that's where Bowser Jr. is introduced. That's where you see him use the paintbrush and the stuff that he uses in this, except for it's taken to a new level. I love that that paintbrush turns into like a chain mace on the end and
That
he
was sick.
throws the slime around and all the different stuff that it does. I was like, man, that's so cool. I would love to see a Mario Sunshine version of this, but just seeing it the way that it was here just made me forget all my woes about it. I'm like, no, you know what? This was really, really cool.
Yeah, and then I guess I'd have to end it with the last character, which is at the very end of the fight, is when Bowser finally gets defeated, and they do it old school where they throw the axe and he falls in the bridge and he goes into the lava and he comes out as Dry Bowser, right? Skeletal,
Yeah,
breathing fire, and that fight scene at the end, man, was epic. I thought it was well done. Illumination, man, does such a good job at their animation, and that last fight scene was amazing. So it was really cool to see Dry Bowser, and we'll get into the end when we talk about the post-credit scene of where he's at. But as one of the last new characters they introduced, I thought Dry Bowser as a final boss kind of was really was really neat to see.
yeah, that was really, really cool because I thought it was already gonna kind of top out with like that like dragon thingy coming out of
Yeah,
there.
so did I. I thought the movie was almost gonna end, and then it's like, no, we got another 15.
Yeah, no, that was way cool.
Nice. So those are all my positives for the movie. And again, we're doing spoilers, but these are not light spoilers. We're not walking you through the whole movie. Was there anything else you want to give a shout out to? Was there anything else that was stood out in your mind?
I think one of the best things for me with this movie is just same from the first one is they just took like all the little video game tones and music and stuff like that, but just amplified it. They dropped some of the more like I think in the first one there's a couple like popular like modern like songs or something like that, whereas I think there's maybe only like one in here if I remember, but the rest is all just video game theme music. I'm like, cool, that's what I prefer. I don't need to hear like Katy Perry or Chaperone or something like that in these movies. Like what I want to hear is these video game tracks just like reworked and the way they did it that some of them are just like so subtle and like you barely hear like a couple like little tunes and others are just it's like a big kind of grand track playing in the background. So the way they did the music is just so good.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. You can't mention a good Nintendo game or movie without mentioning the music. So if that's everything we have for the positives, I do have some negatives. So you ready to move into that?
Yeah.
Okay, so my first one that I have is I didn't really care for, and again, we saw it in the trailer. I didn't really like the whole Bowser having, I guess maybe you can call it Stockholm syndrome, but like how he's just kind of not evil Bowser anymore. He's trying to like get back into being nice. And it was funny when he was small and he's breaking out of the castle, but then it gets to the point where he keeps wanting Mario to hit him, and he snaps out of being shrunken Bowser, and he's ready for a fight. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's see it. And then he gives Mario like this big kiss, and he does kind of become good. They do have the run in with the bees from Mario. I believe that's from Mario Odyssey. Oh no, but that's from Mario Galaxy. The Queen Bee, and then he kind of takes the bullet for them, and he's like, "No, I'll stay behind," because she ends up sending him to like the dungeon or something, and Bowser says, "No, I'll stay for them." And it wasn't
Oh,
until
she sent it to
Bowser,
the mines.
oh yeah, to the bee mine, the hive minds, and then Bowser Jr. is the one that finally comes and breaks him out and kind of slowly turns Bowser back into what Bowser's always been. But that's really not until the third act of the movie. So for me, I don't like seeing the bad good guys, but that could be a positive for some people. How did you like the way Bowser was treated in this movie?
I feel like for me, it didn't really bug me as much, especially because he does turn back to being like bad again by the end. But the whole time I was thinking like, okay, and maybe this is why it didn't bug me is because I'm like, okay, cool. I could see a Mario Party happening out of this where they're kind of just like cool and like hanging out or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just was just so lost in like after seeing them kind of being like just possibilities of what could be a Mario Kart, whatever, just some dumb little thing that could just come out of it.
I think Shigeru Miyamoto, I believe it was him, was saying something that there is, after seeing Fox McCloud, there is no plans to do a Smash Brothers. So I think that kind of took the wind out of a lot of people's sails, but that doesn't necessarily mean there won't be, because I think Mario Party would also be a really cool game. Like you have oh man, I forget the evil wizard guy that's in a lot of the GBA games. But like if he were to take them and put them into a Mario Party game that they had to survive to get through, I mean, there's a lot of more things you could do with it. So I guess I don't mind. I don't hate nice Bowser. I just didn't like how we didn't get evil Bowser. He had to get like re-taught by his son, who again you mentioned earlier had a really cool flashback scene with Bowser Jr. to be bad again. Bowser to me should be bad. Now my second negative is that As cool as Yoshi was, he was pretty much irrelevant. I mean, unless I'm forgetting something, but it seems like that was supposed to be what the second Mario movie was going to be, was a Yoshi story. And outside of him coming into the team, he doesn't really do anything. There was really no point to add him outside of having Yoshi in the movie. Am I forgetting something? That Yoshi wasn't key to anything, was he?
I don't think so. I think the only part that maybe it'd be like, oh well, he had to be there was like the Yoshi's Island like throwback where they have again spoilers where they have like, but it's in the trailer, which it shouldn't have been. Was where they have the baby section where they get turned into babies and they're like running on like Yoshi's back like a
Babies.
little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is kind of like I think that is sort of my biggest gripe too. Is like there's some of these characters. That's probably kind of my only one really. Is just some of these characters are a little underutilized for what they could have been. But again, that's also the case with these movies because you're throwing in, you have Fox, War. It's the same thing. Like I would like to see Birdo put more of like a fight too,
Yeah.
and it almost seemed like that fight was like a little kind of quick.
Yeah, my and with being on Yoshi, dude, I think you and I talked before, like a week ago, is Donald Glover did not need to be the voice for Yoshi.
No,
There's no dialogue in this. There's nothing outside of "I'm Yoshi" or whatever he says. There's no reason. I don't know unless he got paid nothing. There's no reason you had to pay
that's all I
Donald
could hope
Glover
for.
for this role. Because I'm like, dude, because with all the voice, because it's cool that you see the star-studded cast, but outside of like Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Seth Rogen doing their voices. A lot of the like I think who does it? Key does like Toad. It's like a lot of those
Yeah,
voices are modified. And Yoshi's
yeah, there's
voice
some
is so
tweaks.
completely modified that you can't even there is no Donald Glover in it. So for
Yeah.
me, I was just not that that's a big gripe, but it's like what you don't need to add if he got paid $10 million or $5 million for this role, that was a waste of money.
That's what I thought
If
too.
he's
It's like,
if he's the reason why the budget is up that 10 million compared to the first one, then I will be pissed.
that was my thing too. Is like, okay, like I'm not mad that you're here, but if you subtracted from the budget that could have gone towards anything else or just not been used at all,
Yeah.
not then it's just like, okay, well now am I just like poor man syndrome where like, well, I could have said Yoshi for $10 million. Why didn't
Yeah.
Nintendo hire me?
My final gripe is that the Rosalina and Peach storyline kind of goes nowhere at the end. Obviously, they keep having these flashbacks of where Peach has this story with Mario that she doesn't know her family, and you kind of see these flashbacks of she remembers things about it. We find out at the end that Rosalina is their older sister, and they have a power that when they kind of touch each other, they can create. I forget what exactly it was that they created, but the
It's
movie
like
ends.
star power or
Yeah,
something.
some star power they can use to do certain shit. And at the end, they go, "Oh, we're sisters," and it's like da da da, and that's kind of where it ends. And what's weird because I had to re-look it up because I'm like, I don't remember that in the game. In the game, they don't mention them being sisters at all. So I think that's
No,
something they newly did for the movie, which is fine.
people are
But if it
pissed at
doesn't
that.
do anything in the movie, then what was the point? I thought that was the
Yeah,
biggest letdown because I'm like, oh yeah, we're sisters. The end, and I was like, well, okay,
yeah, that was kind of that too, and I feel like I don't want to say the ending was the weakest part of the movie, but they just build the castle like really quick, and then there's like not too much else, and it's just like done with like her. I don't know, but yeah, I think Rosalina for me was my biggest negative. Is just like okay, you didn't really do much, and you're kind of underutilized. But maybe I guess again for me to say negative, that's just a damsel in distress, like Peaches in any other Mario game or something like that. So it's like, can I really hate on it? But
well,
yeah,
you
to
can make
make
her
it
the
be
damsel in
proved that
distress
they're
without making them
sisters.
sisters.
Yeah, do you have a problem that they did that? Do you even care at all? I personally don't care. I've seen people that are pissed online because it's always been alluded. I think like maybe she might be related, maybe like her daughter or something, or they're just not related at all. I don't know. People get crazy with that stuff, and I'm just like, who cares?
I just wish there was something they said earlier in the third act, and then and then that's the reason they fought harder. Was just like, oh, now I'm gonna fight for my sister. Where it's not mentioned till the very end. I'm like, okay, well, it's really a useless plot point then because it doesn't do anything to advance the movie.
Yeah, I think I'm just taking it at what it is, and that would be something more that would bug me if they did another one and Rosalina's not involved. Because Peach's whole thing with the past two movies now has been like, oh, well, I'm kind of alone and I don't really know where I came from. But if by the third movie she's like, all right, Rosalina, fuck off back to space, I'm gonna stay here and just do whatever, then
Yeah,
that would become more of an issue.
gotcha. So that's what I have for my negatives. Is there anything else, or are we good on that?
No, I was gonna say mine were kind of the same. It's just some of those people were like just a little underutilized, but again, it wasn't enough for me to be like, okay, well, this movie sucks.
Yeah. So with that being said, guys, that's kind of the pros and cons. If you've seen the movie, leave yours down below. If you are gonna watch it, there are two post-credit scenes. One is I thought kind of lame because they showed it off in some trailers, and I don't know why you would show a post-credit scene as the trailer because it's that little star guy who's kind of insane, and
Oh,
he comes down and he's like a prisoner guard and he's banging on the rails or on the bars, and at the end you see Bowser Jr. and which is weird because so Bowser didn't revert back to being regular. He's still Dry Bowser, and it's like
yeah.
his head, and he's in the cell. So we get to see that scene, and then obviously the more important scene is the second scene is that we get to introduce the Princess Daisy, who at the very end she catches somebody at the Gateway Galaxy stealing something, and then she
Kiki.
punches them in the face, and they're like, "Hey, thank you, Princess," and she kind of gives them the thumbs up. So obviously, when they make a number, not if, when they make number three, Princess Daisy's going to come into the fold, which I know Princess Daisy is when a lot of people got a pop in the theaters that I've seen.
I am excited to see that because hopefully it's more like I think that's what's been alluded or I don't know whatever that's more like Luigi's girl, whereas like Peach is like Mario's. Because even during the movie, they keep hitting it. Or he keeps talking about Mario and Peach's romance. He's like, "Hey, let me know if she has like a friend, or I forget what he says. Does she have a friend or a sister or something like that for me or whatever?" So that would be really cool. Ideally, what I would like to see is a Luigi standalone movie, a Luigi's Mansion,
That would be cool.
and you could just swap out Mario being kidnapped for him having to say, "Okay, this is my chance to be a hero, my time to shine." You could just well swap out Mario and put Daisy in there, and
Yeah,
that would work perfectly fine with me.
I would like that even as a third movie, and you do that one, and then you make the next Mario World movie.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is that's ideally what I would like to see is instead of another Mario all around movie, give me like a Luigi standalone, something like that, and then you can go off and kind of do whatever.
Oh, I'd like that. So, that's pretty much what I have for the review. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, I mean, I'll say don't listen to what people are writing online. Go out there and see it for yourself and be your own judge. Or wait, I wouldn't skip it at all. But I personally love this movie. I had such a good time watching this, and I had seen like scores and everything like that we talked about before when they drop. I'm like, okay, like there's just so many people. Like I don't know. It's hard to say without like slamming anyone and be like, okay, you just come off as like pretentious, like, oh, let me. I got to write for the New York Post or whatever. But it's like, dude, like, did you forget just to go how and have fun? Like reading your review just makes you sound miserable that you couldn't go out and like do anything and just have fun. Like this movie is just fun front to back.
Front to back. So, guys, if you were on the fence about it, go see it. I thought it was fantastic. If you got kids, definitely go see it with them because, um, from my experience with Grayson, man, every kid that was in the theater loved it. So, leave down your thoughts below, guys, of what you think, and if you plan on watching it. So, before we end, we're gonna do what are you up to? When Andrew and I take a second and talk about anything we've been playing and anything we've been watching. So, Andrew, my good man, what have you been up to?
As far as watching, it was just the movie. I didn't really have too much else because I've been kind of busy with the
Okay.
baby showers, kind of all kinds of other stuff. Plus, planning my son's first birthday, so I got a lot going on. So the
Oh yeah,
movie,
text me the details on that because you mentioned that the other day, but I don't know if I don't know what you plan on doing or if it's, family only.
yeah, I'll send it to you. But I got lucky that I just was able to take a break, get out, and go see the movie. As far as playing anything, I actually just finished Final Fantasy IV, maybe like an hour before we recorded
Okay,
right now.
I saw you on it because I was working early and I was checking because I was looking up because I bought that Magnum or that Mouse PI game and I kept seeing you on FF4 and I'm like, I wonder if he's gonna beat it today.
Yeah, I wanted to. I was like, okay, like I just want to get this done. I like it. I like the story because it's the first one where you kind of really have like set characters. There's a lot of people that kind of come and go, but you have like an overall story with people who are not like, oh, I'm just generic knight one, generic knight two, generic monk, and like the first three kind of are. But this one does have some of the most, I don't want to say like annoying combat, but like maybe it's just because I was just like, okay, I can't just like smash through, so that's annoying because these are kind of older games, so I don't want to have to
Well, what do you
sit here
mean? Well, because
time.
I'm behind you on I'm playing it. What do you so if you can't ramp up via experience, what's making the combat difficult?
No, you just run into like a couple people like later on that just do so much damage, and there's not really anything you can do to like negate it. So it's kind
Ah,
of like it just ends up becoming like RNG sometimes. Like, okay, hopefully I can kill him before he kills me, Or there was some where I even got to a point because I'll set it to like auto battle where I'm like, I think even on the final boss, like my party was wiped except for like two people, and he's doing these BS attacks that just take so much damage. It just seems like there's a lot of those on here. There's a lot of attacks that just like will instantly take you down to like one, and maybe it's just meant to be played slower, but it's an older game, so I kind of don't want to play it like that. But like where I just have this dude just doing this attack where he kind of gets out of the way and then like attacks, I'm like, I'm just gonna let it go. Like I'm not even gonna try to revive anyone. Like I'll just have to come back to the drawing board if he doesn't, if I don't get it on this one. And he was able to beat him, and he was the only one left alive because he was jumping up in the air, so the boss's attacks weren't hitting him. But I only had like 200 health left.
Oh,
It just seems like there's just a couple of fights in there that I'm like, okay, like I'm having to do this for like the fourth time now, and it's just annoying. And it's more annoying when you get to the last boss fight because you have to. Spoiler alert for you. You come up to the final boss. You have to watch these other people do whatever. It's like a whole thing, and then they think they've won, but really they haven't. So the boss comes back and kicks their ass, kicks your ass. But now through the power of friendship, now you're in ass kicking mode, and it's just like, okay, I died like three different times doing this that I had to watch this four separate times. Literally by the end though too, I had to put it into like the not the active mode where everything's always constantly moving and going on. I had
right.
to put it into like the time based mode where like when I'm doing something, he needs to stop so I could focus on what my next move is because this is just it just felt like cheap with some of the things. I'm
Oh,
like,
you can do that in the settings. You can change it to where.
yeah, you change it from active to timed, and I only did that for the final fight. I think there was
Okay.
another one I wanted to do that with, but again, it's just it's not bad. And again, maybe it's just because I'm trying to rush the game too. But at the same time, it's just there's so many like attacks, so many things. It's like, dude, this just feels like cheap, and there's nothing you could really do to get like overpowered, or even if you get like overpowered or over leveled, like you're still getting smashed by enemies because you're running into six enemies at a time, and when they're all doing 300 damage each, that's like 1800 damage that you're taking, and hopefully you have enough health to survive, or it's spread out amongst your people. So that you get some trash teammates that I feel like just die like instantly. At one point, you have like a bard. I'm like, what am I gonna do with this bard? Like, get the hell out of here, man. So
Um, are
most
you gonna
frustrating
write
for
an
me.
Instagram review?
I'll wait till you're done into what you say because I'm gonna trash it if I do. Maybe not trash it, but I don't know.
No,
I
feel
think
free to trash it if you don't like it.
I think I will, but I have to sleep on it first because if I do it today, I'm gonna go in hot.
You're gonna be a little hot potato.
How far are you?
Awesome. Not that far. Maybe I'm less than like an hour, I would say. I haven't really got that chance to sit down and actually put some time into it yet. So hopefully this weekend I can get some good gaming done. But with that being said, I know we're gonna be talking about Pragmata, which we're gonna get some time in, and we're gonna be talking about that Mouse PI. So hopefully I can smash Final Fantasy out this weekend and then start playing that. So
Like I said,
uh,
I'm glad that I played it. At the end of the day, I'm glad that I played it. It is on Game Pass, so get out there and try it if you want to. And I'm just excited. Okay, like I got past those ones. I'm ready for like five and six. Especially six. People are saying, that's the GOAT. It's better than seven, this and that. It's one of the biggest ones that I haven't played, so I'm
Oh,
excited
cool.
to
Yeah,
get a chance for that.
I beat six a while ago. When I was working at Boost, I actually I had it on my phone, and I remember beating it on my phone.
Oh,
uh,
now I do want to note too, what's insane, because again, we're not those people that are like, oh, we're gonna wait for every game to come to Game Pass. But I feel like this thing was so overpriced because it was like $80 when it was on sale. It was like $70 for the entire collection. That I went to go look at the standalone game because, but before I was able to download it, before Game Pass, it's like buy now for $17. I'm like, are you joking? $17 for this like 30-year-old game, like insane.
right on, man. Anything else?
Nah, nah.
So as far as what I've been watching, and I guess on this one I am part of the problem, is The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, which was
I
upcoming.
purposely didn't do that.
What?
I purposely didn't go through and watch it.
I went to see it. Boy, at first I didn't know. It popped up on my. I was going through Twitter and it popped up, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I saw that it's not coming out, but I'm like, because here's the
It's
thing,
not coming to theater, I
it's
don't
not coming
think.
to theaters anyway, so I'm not robbing it of any box office. It's already out there. If it's coming straight to streaming, I'm definitely watching it again day one. So for me, watching it early didn't steal anything from me. Now, if it was
Hey,
going to theater, I wouldn't have watched. Well, again, I would have watched it anyway because I'm gonna watch it anyway. I will say this: I didn't go download it. It was in my Twitter feed. There was like a bunch of them, and I hit play and it was playing. So
I'm surprised. Yeah, the people uploaded like the whole movie to Twitter, which was crazy.
and good quality too, I must say.
Yeah,
It's
I've
like
seen
all
some of the
HD
fight scenes on
4K.
there. I almost broke when I saw like the Toph fight scene, and she's
It's
like doing,
sick, man.
and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh,
so this movie was pushed back from last year. It's still scheduled to come out on October 9th, 2026. But as far as what I've heard last is that it's going straight to Paramount Plus. It's if you're not familiar, Avatar: The Last Airbender was a show that aired a while back as Aang and them as kids. This is a movie that looks like it takes place maybe 15 years later. They're starting to build Republic City. Excuse me. That I won't give too much away because it's not even out yet. There's no
you don't
trailers
want to
out
break
yet.
embargo.
But it is the animation is fire. It's the
So
fight
good.
scenes are awesome, and seeing these characters I've been waiting for feels like 20 years. Looks amazing. So if and when it comes out, definitely go see it. I know a lot of I because I sent Denny a link to go watch it, and he watched it. So, but I did see that a lot of them were being taken down. So if maybe you can't do it anymore, but it was awesome. As far as what I've been playing, I bought another Switch too, and so I've been trying to play a lot more Switch games. I didn't get a chance to finish Pokemon yet. I'm gonna go back and do that, but I did run through Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is a 2022 platform game developed by HAL Laboratory and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I had the Nintendo Switch 2 version, which comes with the new story campaign, which is titled Star-Crossed World. But I didn't get a chance to play that. I beat the Forgotten Land and I kind of moved on. The game's cool. Kirby gets a lot of cool powers. You get this little kind of hub that you can start out in, and you got to collect these creatures. I already forget what they're called through each of these levels. And the more you do, the more you get to unlock things in his little world. So you unlock these little like gumball machines that have little figures in them. You can unlock powers. So one of the ones I found that was awesome is you have like this fire power. So any power that you collect goes to this guy. And so if you can go back to the town and you can start with any power that you've already unlocked, but you can find blueprints in the levels and use your coins to upgrade him. So I think there's 3 stages. And at the end, the fire one turns into like this dragon fire where you can just sit and hold it and it shoots out like this pink fire. And then he also has a move where when you jump and dart, he gets like dragon wings and you can deal damage to the
Oh yeah.
enemies. So it's pretty sick. There's a lot of cool powers in there. There's a lot of good collectibles. So if you're looking for a game to actually, collect there's like 7 or no, there's 10 of these guys you got to collect in every level so that you can miss them and you got to go back and get them. There's a lot of things to explore. Even in the open world, there's secrets that you can unlock. There's every power that you unlock. There's little hidden levels that have time trials, so you can beat it. So that way you can experiment with the ability and see everything it does because you pretty much got to do everything to kind of pass it. It's got I think 6 worlds, little biomes that you go into. Um, the ending had a really cool boss fight. I won't give anything away. I'm gonna write a Kirby review on Instagram. So if you guys want to check it out, I was talking to CN because right when I beat it, I posted on Snapchat to you guys, and CN called me. And shout out to CN. I don't know if he's back yet, but he went to
Yeah.
Japan for a week, which was awesome. And he called me
Way
and he's
cool.
like, "Hey, I'm leaving. It's like a 14-hour trip, I think it is to get there." And he wanted to know if Kirby was a good game to play on the plane. And I'm like, "Yeah, you're gonna have plenty of time, plenty of things to do." So that was a really fun game. And if you were on the fence about it, I haven't played a Kirby game in years. So for me, it was a great game. And for the Switch 2, you get Star-Crossed World, which is a really cool experience, and it's doing well. As far as I can see here, the game was a commercial success, selling over 7.52 million copies by March of 2024. So it's an older game, making it the best-selling game in the series and one of the best-selling games on the Switch. So that, my friend, is what I was watching and what I've been playing. So, guys, that brings an end to this episode. That's the end of episode 229. Guys, join us on episode 230. Leave your thoughts and comments down below of everything you guys have been up to, what you've been playing. So, until next time, guys, my name is Craig Perales, and that is Mandrew Montemayor. Cheers.
Keep pirating movies.